I love Kothimbri Vadi. It never fails to please. It's so easy to make, it's so tasty, so light, a lovely little snack on a day you want something special with a cup of coffee or tea or a nice cold chilled beverage. This is my kaki's recipe from Pune, except that I use my grandmother's Goda masala in it. It's a little bit different, but it makes it so tasty you can't stop eating them. I add a little bit of potato to make it lighter and fluffier in its texture. The usual ginger, I don't use garlic, some white sesame seeds, plenty of crushed peanuts, and of course, a little bit of roasted rice flour and roasted besan. I use roasted flours because I don't like cooking this mixture on the stove. I find that it results in a very pasty Kothimbri Vadi. And I use the freshest coriander, which I cut just before I'm ready to add it to the mixture and put it into the steamer. I keep some of the stems because the stems have so much flavor, but I take the bigger, tougher ones out. Then you chop them really fine. Remember, chopping coriander well in advance, it loses some of its flavor to the air. So do it just as soon as you're ready to add it to that mixture. Add a little bit water and then make the dough. Maharashtrian homes, Kothimbri Vadi is just a given, a standard. And if it's not Kothimbri Vadi, it's then you can make a vadi with cabbage and with other vegetables also. But it's one of those easy to make snacks that you steam and very often just wrap up and keep in the fridge. And then when you want, take it out, slice it up, and then pan fry it to a nice crispy golden hue. Now I mix everything together, then I add water. It's very important to add the right amount of water. Too much and it has a bad effect in the sense that you get a sticky kind of pasty Kotimari Vadi. If you add too little, it becomes very dry. I also like to add a little bit of jaggery and a little bit of red chili powder to this. And then I line a tray with some parchment, apply some oil to it generously to make it easier to take the Kotimari Vadi out once it's steamed. Now look at the consistency of my Kotimari Vadi. You have folks that will make it that like it's almost like a drier roll or a kind of dough. But mine is a little bit soft and wet. And I like it like this. I find that it gives a very good result. Smoothen it out. You want to make sure that there are no air bubbles in it and that the top is completely smooth because that's how it's going to steam and come out. Make sure that the batter is filled, every corner of the pan and then smack it on the counter to settle it. It's very important that the top is smooth and every corner or crevice is filled and there are no air bubbles. Now cover it tightly with a double layer of foil and put it into a pressure cooker with a ring and some hot water. And we're going to steam this for about generally 3 to 4 whistles does the task. When you take it out, you'll find that it's kind of damp and a little bit moist on top, but it doesn't ooze liquid, it's firm, it's set. And it's also kind of pulled away from the sides of the pan. That's a sign that it's done. I mean, you can even use a cake tester. It will come out mostly clean because it's sort of firm and set on the inside. You don't want to over steam it also because you'll dehydrate it. Now, once you've done this, it's very important that you rest this Kotimri Vadi until it's completely cool. Some people put it in the fridge overnight because if you try to cut it while it's still hot, you could break it into small pieces. So at least let it reach room temperature, after which you can slice it up and pan fry it. Smack it on the counter. You'll see it comes out very easily. My parchment paper didn't even have to be peeled off. It just remained inside the steaming tray. And then cut it into pieces of, sizes of your choice. I'm doing the classic diamond shape here, but you can also do square, you can do triangle. I prefer, that's why to make it in a square tray because I don't lose the sides this way. The diamond shape is a very traditional shape, but of course you can do any shape that you like. Not all the pieces you'll be able to cut into a diamond shape. The sides you might get some triangles. But that's perfectly fine. I'd say about 2 inches by about about a half to 3/4 inch thick is a really good size. It gives you depth, it gives you a decent sized portion, and it fries really well as well. Now these will have to be fried on all sides, not just the top and the bottom, but even the sides to make them nice and crispy and golden. So I use about 1.5 inches of oil. This is kind of pan fried. This is not a deep fried snack. I don't like to deep fry these because I find that then they become kind of tough. I prefer to pan fry them. And take a look, so golden, fluffy on the inside, a tender crumb as we call it. And I like to make a kind of slightly runny chutney with this, but there are many different chutneys you can serve with this in the Maharashtrian repertoire. This is a yogurt chutney with some coriander leaves, a cumin a tadka, and a little bit of green chili. Really delicious. Enjoy.